Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Today we're going to be doing some Windows games testing on the base M5 MacBook Pro with 16 gigabytes of RAM. So just trying to do some footage gathering before I return this M5 Mac. And I've actually returned the other ones already. So what I'm going to do today is just do a bunch of games. So I feel like I'm playing catch up because there's so many really interesting Windows games that have come out recently on Mac. Well, on Windows, that are actually playable through something like Crossover Preview. So lots of new releases, for example, Europa Universalis 5. Apparently, on launch, there was a way to get it to work, and it requires some kind of fix. Maybe a recent patch broke it, I'm not sure. But there's a couple of new ones like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Once Upon a Katamari, Outer Worlds 2, Peak. That came out quite a long time ago, actually. We'll try out some of the demos like Little Nightmares 3. There are a few more that I want to check out too. So I've got like a little list, but if you want to request any Windows games to be tested today, then super chat, and then I will put that in the lineup today. But basically, I'm just going to try to cover a few. I just purchased these games, and I'm going to actually just play the one that I just downloaded. So I'm just downloading them all on my other computer right now. Let me just see if we have something actually ready to play. So I think the first one we'll try is Peak, because that was actually a really small game to try. You want me to try Gears of War? I already know Gears of War works. 2018 works. The kind of reboot works. It still has the blue speckly dots graphical artifacts. Coincidentally, I guess unintuitively, the latest God of War Ragnarok actually works better than the 2018 version. So you might find that works a bit more fluidly compared to the 2018 version, which is a bit odd. Okay, thank you everyone for joining the stream today. Okay, you've never been hit this early. Yeah, this is the beginning. Okay, so yeah, we're using the latest crossover preview at the moment. So this one is the version of crossover preview from the 6th of November. So basically in November, we have basically the latest release of the latest fixes for crossover. And that's going to really help with all of these brand new games that have just come out. So we'll give Peak a go. This is actually, this came out a while ago. I've never played this game before, but I've heard a lot about it. Just kind of get my... Just turn this off for a sec. Okay, we're going to do VSync off, render scale high. That high, does that mean quality mode? It might tell me if I... No, it's not telling me what the actual internal resolution is. Okay, let's just leave it at default. And then it has like a microphone setting, right? So I think I can host the game. Yesterday, I watched some YouTube videos on the device. I was not logged in, and it showed me an ad every 2 to 5 minutes. Well, that's why I've been using YouTube Premium for many years now. Okay, let's just see this. I need to invert because I'm an invert Y player. Okay, cool. I'll just turn up the volume a bit. Just let me know if the audio sounds okay. Let me just play. Oh, so this looks like an airport or something. As far as I can tell, I've never actually played this game, so I don't actually know if this works. Why is this? I thought this was a mountain climbing game. Okay, let's board this flight. Okay. Can it play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? So that's one of the games I just downloaded just now, so I'm going to test that. Apparently there was a recent patch this morning which fixed some issues launching the game. So previously you had to use a workaround and a save game in order to load past the intro video, but apparently this morning it works fine. So we'll test that next, because I literally just finished downloading it. It's like 80 gigabyte file. So let's give that a go. Okay, so this is... So I've heard that I've heard that this multiplayer also works like cross-platform. Big luggage. Okay. Is there food in here? It's compass. Can I just put this in my bag? Do you think Apple will remove the global OpenGL FPS limit? So I just updated my Mac this morning, and apparently the latest 26.1 update fixes the OpenGL limit. So maybe I'll test that a bit later. How do I pick up stuff? What's the inventory button for this? Oh, I just pressed leave game by accident. Yeah, the open. Yeah, the OpenGL thing is fixed. How do I get? I can rebind controls. So how do I go into inventory? Stash items tab. Oh, okay, I can put it in tab back slot. Okay, so does Fortnite work on Mac now that they have allowed it on Windows ARM laptop? So apparently, if you try to run it through Parallels, it doesn't work yet because it detects it's running in a virtual machine. Although other BattleEye games do work, for example, GTA Online. I was actually intending for today to be a Parallels test session, but something's wrong with my Parallels license, so I have to work on that slightly later, I think. Maybe later in the week. Okay, let's put that here. So pick up the guidebook, press tab to put it away. Open our granola bar, whatever that is. Let's go inside the plane. Binoculars, lantern, flare. So I don't have enough space to like pick it up. I don't understand the controls here. Interact, drop, throw, key. Stash item is tab. So does that mean I only have 4 slots? Can I eat this? Okay. What does this do? Claw. Rescue claw. I'll just drop this, I think. Lantern seems like it's more useful. Compass might be useful too. Also, Andrew, regarding my previous question, what do you think why Pixelcon 3D will be limited to 60 FPS using Metal Formula? Well, some games just naturally have VSync on, but I think that Pixel Gun 3D has an option to turn off that frame rate cap, I think. I remember being able to go higher than 60. So do I have to climb this thing? Climb this mountain? Do I just drop it? Let's see what I can see here. That's quite cool. Wilderness Handbook, How to Survive. How do you turn the page? Oh, mouse wheel, okay. What great ecstasy in life is than crunching down on a succulent granola bar? Okay, keep moving, sprint, jump. Okay, let's try a bit of this without any of this gear stuff. I don't need this. Might need a compass though. Okay. Andrew, I've got a new MacBook Air M4. The problem is I don't know which games I can play. For example, I'll try Minecraft, but I can only play 1.5 hours free. Please help. Lots of games you can try. So if you just go and buy Steam, if you just download and install Steam, just remember that basically every single game you can purchase and play for 2 hours for free. And if it doesn't work, then you can just refund it automatically. It's very fast. You'll get your money back into your wallet within 2 or 3 hours. So it's a very risk-free way of testing out games, which is what I'm kind of abusing in this in my YouTube game testing, because I don't intend to keep this game because I want to hold on to this this particular game, so I could just refund it at the end. so I don't have to spend all my money on buying new games. So you can try, testing out games. Watch my videos to see what games that I've tried. I've got lots of compilation videos about games, Mac games on Steam, and also Windows games that are running on Mac, which I'm testing out today. Okay, so it was spiky. Does crossover have to switch to game mode to work fully? At the moment, there's no game mode for crossover for some reason. I still don't actually understand the reasoning why there is no game mode, because crossover and Windows games running through translation layers and anything like that would hugely benefit from the increased performance of crossover. Ouch. So I saw a video from Mac Pro Tips saying that this game does work in multiplayer as well, so that'd be quite interesting to try out. This guy doesn't have that much stamina, does he? Does crossover have to... the M5 fans seem kind of loud. Are they loud? Can't really hear them from here because my microphone shouldn't be picking them up really. FIFA 19 no longer works on Tahoe with crossover. Yeah, if in terms of game compatibility, you probably just don't want to upgrade your Mac OS operating system if you've got games that work, because lots of compatibility will break when you upgrade your operating system, so maybe don't do that. Did you know that the Metal HUD works with Vulkan mod in Minecraft? Yeah, I've tested it before, so you can just download... the problem with Vulkan mod is you can't use any shaders as far as I'm aware, unless there's other shaders which I'm not particularly aware of that you can try. But the traditional normal shaders don't work. But the performance is really good. But you just get vanilla levels of performance. Okay, so default graphics setting 1080p, we're getting like 100 plus FPS. And as far as I'm aware from the Mac Pro Tips video, you can play this online, and apparently the microphone and everything works correctly. So this is good. So peak seems fun. Okay, good. Okay, let's try that. And then I've got a few more games I'm going to try today. Okay, so that one's done. Let's do the next one, which is, okay, I'm downloading Europa Universalis 5. I'm downloading the Outer Worlds 2. Let's see what I actually put on my list of stuff I just downloaded. Let's do Katamari. I'm sure I downloaded this already. It should verify rather than download. Yeah, it should be working now. The VSync option doesn't exist in the game for macOS specifically, so this FPS kind of 60. Okay, it's odd. I don't know. Bro, I'm 13 and my mom won't let me buy Steam games. Well, you have a different problem then. There are lots of free games that you can try on a Mac. There are lots of free games that are available, so check that out. But if you're only 13 and you need money, probably do some chores and make some pocket money. Buy a Steam gift card, and then, if you've got like $30 of Steam gift card money, then you can test out a lot of different games. Try Warframe. Yeah, Warframe's good, but you need to run it through crossover on a Mac, which is also a paid product, so you kind of need money to do stuff on a Mac. If you really want a good gaming device, like buy a Switch or something, they're very cheap now. Gift me crossover subscription for a year. Sorry, I can't do that. But if you just wait for the Black Friday's, not the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, which is due in maybe 2 weeks, it's going to be very cheap then. And you can renew multiple years at a time. Okay, let's see what we're going to do next. I thought I downloaded my Katamari game already. Okay. So we've got Katamari. Okay, let's do Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Because I read that this... Let's just quit. I'm going to quit Steam because I downloaded it on the same library from a different computer, and it's not detected that I've downloaded it fully. There were some private test builds of Vulkan Mobile shaders, but since Vibrant Visuals were announced, those were delayed because they aim for vanilla parity and updating to new versions is the priority. Okay. Maybe I'll give that a go at some point. There is a new Nintendo Switch emulator called Ryubin where you make a tutorial. Yes, I will do that soon because I'm going to do like... Before I return this Mac, I'm going to do an emulation stream as well. So I need to do... Today I'm doing crossover. Tomorrow I might... Maybe Friday I'll do emulation, and then I'll install all the new stuff. So the latest Ryubin build and tutorial on how to get it to work. It's very easy. It's not really different from the previous tutorials. Okay, good. So apparently this works from out of the box. So let's just try this out now. See if this works. So remember, this is the base M5 MacBook Pro. So it's the lowest end M5 chip that you can buy right now. Traditionally, the base like M4, M3 have never done gaming that well, especially like big, huge RPG, open world RPGs like this. So I'd be surprised that this works, just fine. I tried to play KCD1 on my MacBook Air using porting kit, but it failed. Is there another free option? The free options are the successor to Wineskin. I still can't pronounce what it's called, Skiriger or something. And then Whiskey, you can try to get that to work, but it's not supported anymore. Okay, we're in the menu. So previously, apparently there were some issues with this working. Let's just try. Is there like a... Okay, it's just medium. Let's just try medium. Invert my mouse. Okay, so this is exciting because apparently a recent patch this morning fixed this issue on Mac. So maybe someone's trying to play it on Mac. Let's wipe my screen a bit. Just try and keep it nice and clean. Okay. It's not possible to get the private Vulkan mod test builds, and if you made a video, people would probably complain it doesn't exist in the Vulkan mod Discord. But as far as I'm aware, when I last did a Prism install of Minecraft, you could just download it from Forge or something, the Vulkan mod. So that worked fine, I think. Do you think there will be a Switch emulator that has metal? So Isaac of Whiskey fame was developing a metal build, and apparently that's been integrated into the latest Ryubin version. So you can check it out, I guess. I haven't tested out Switch emulation for a while. Yeah, but that version of Vulkan mod doesn't have shaders. Well, if it's in a private server and it's not easy to access, then as far as I'm concerned, it's not been released. So maybe when it's out, then I'll cover it properly. Yeah, shorts. For UX, this is the 16GB version. So you can see in the top right hand side of the metal HUD, it's saying that the app is using 9.67 gigabytes. So that's system RAM plus whatever's on the metal side as well. So that's total RAM, including video memory, etc. Let's just skip this cutscene because I want to see in-game footage, because like pre-rendered cutscenes are not very useful for seeing what the actual game performance is like. Ooh, epic. Oh, actually, this is working really well. Oh my god. This is medium at 1080p. Does this have any upscaling? Can't actually tell. So this is advanced, this is medium graphics. Full screen. There's a DLSS option. What's convolutional mean? Put it in quality mode. So there's the DLSS option, which is available in the latest versions of Crossover Preview. Ooh, well, that's like beautiful, sweet 60. Slightly blurry though. I've never finished the first. I've never really played the first game. Oh, so you can see here the Metal FX scaling is going from 720p to 1080p. So that's like quality mode, I think. So is it capped to 60 here? Let's see if we can get it to go over. So the frame rate limit here is 60. Just turn off VSync. Ugh. Can it go over? If we look at the floor, I say it's not capped to 60 anymore. It's capped. It's like. It depends what your appetite is for blurriness. Okay, so we're on the ramparts. Let's have a look. Wow, reloading is hard. How to reload? Mayan's still working on vibrant visuals. Okay. Oh, cool. It's like a first-person shooter, I guess. Help defend the gate in the courtyard. Okay. I wasn't really a fan of the sword play in this. What's happening? This is working surprisingly well. This is the base M5 chip after all, I know. This guy's called Dry Devil. Do you know of any web browser that has the compact tab that Apple removed from Safari? There are loads of browsers that use WebKit that can probably work with the right kind of add-ons. Approach a ladder and use E to push it down. Do you think like frame interpolation and AI denoising will be added in native Mac games? Yeah, so hopefully Cyberpunk is going to get an update with all of the new Metal 4 features. But with the way, I don't see uptake happening particularly soon, especially because Metal 4, I've read that it uses a lot of, it requires like complete reprogramming games in order to take advantage of it. So all that work done on Metal 3 will have to be like refactored into Metal 4 stuff. So the likelihood of us, seeing the results of that, especially when WWDC was only a few months ago, is very unlikely. Maybe in 6 months' time. I mean, Cyberpunk, I hope we'll get an update in the coming months, but we don't really know. When you try and download the Mac version of Rebeam, the page returns no found message. Not sure how to get it working. Okay, you just have to find a mirror of it. There's plenty of mirrors online, so I'll have to check that out. The base M5 looks so much better for gaming than M4. It is like substantially better. So I have high hopes for the M5 Pro and the M5 Max, which you're going to be expecting like double performance for the M5 Pro and then quadruple performance for the M5 Max. And hopefully they'll release this like a MacBook Air version of the M5, which would be interesting. You can implement frame manipulation with Metal 3. Thanks, Redox. Yeah, that sounds interesting. There's also FSR like frame generation that works if you as well, and if the games have implemented it correctly. This is a cutscene because we can see that Metal HUD is telling us that the there's no frame, or what do you call it? There's no upscaling here because I did set it to like 720p upscaling via DLSS, which the Metal FX is hooking into the to do the upscaling. Can you play FC25 in Mac? No, you cannot because of anti-cheat. I think the latest version is FIFA 22. That will work through crossover. That's the one I tested last.
Well, Henry, looking forward to new adventures? Adventures that will become the stuff of legends?
We're getting into quite high RAM usage at the moment. So this is like, the app is saying we're using 16 gigabytes, which is more than what this machine is actually capable of. So we should be going to swap memory at the moment. I'll just check. Especially with Steam running in the background too. Can I try The Last of Us? You can check out my last video about The Last of Us. The last video I compared the different RAM configurations of the Mac, and I did a test with The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. So yeah, they both work. If you run with crossover preview, the latest version, then it's just going to work fine. 32 on battery. How many games you think you can get? Depends on the resolution and the frame rate. Because if you uncap your frame rate, then it's going to use more power.
So do I. How is that? Fortuna al dentes fortuna juvat.
I mean, I expect like 3 or 4 hours of Dota 2.
Well, enough of the chat. Trotsky's almost within reach.
As the way to stop memory leaks, I have EA Play subscription, but the games leak memory. Not unless the games are programmed in a different way. As far as I'm aware, there's no way to fix memory leaks that are already part of the game. So there's several like high-end games that work, Windows games that work on a Mac, which all have memory leaks. So the Last of Us games, the Uncharted games, and also the Jedi Survivor all have memory leaks, which doesn't matter how much memory you have on your Mac. Even if you have 128 gigabytes, it's going to overflow into that eventually and stop working. Is there a way to stop memory? Yeah. If you try FF7 Rebirth on M5, I'll be curious if you have this problem of FPS down during the game. I've already tested Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I played it for about 20 minutes, I think. And it seems to be better than it used to be.
I'm a soldier and Lord Capon's bodyguard. My job is to defend him with my life.
From Skalitz, you say? The one that King Sigismund's Cuman forces plundered?
I slaughtered everyone. Even so, I'm not going
This is
to
actually
Trotsky as an
performing surprisingly well, considering that we are at 17 gigabytes of memory.
Strangers here, and armed strangers.
When do you think Control Ultimate Edition will come native on Steam? I mean, if they haven't done it already, then I'm not sure it's ever going to happen. It's already been, what, 6 months since Control was released on Mac?
That's why we're
I'm going to skip this bit. I don't want
We've
blah, 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 blah.
You make indeed. Thank you.
Blah.
Oh well.
Skip this bit. Is there going to be a fight, or is it going to let us go? Hello, did I try WoW yet? I'm planning to do Windows games today. Find out from Hounds where the plans are. Yeah, so this is one of those games that could benefit more from having a little bit more memory, but it's actually performing surprisingly well considering that we are in like that memory pressure here. So it's using 5 gigabytes of swap already.
Come here! What's all the fuss about, Mutt? Are you that hungry? All right, I'll see what I can get for you.
So I think this is the kind of game that definitely wouldn't have worked on the M3 8 gigabytes because 17 gigabytes is completely different. I mean, what would happen if, let me see. It's a beautiful game, actually.
Henry, come here. Henry, what the fuck was that about?
What was what about?
With that captain? I thought they got us all. The way you provoked him.
You're a noble. You can't let some lackey shit all over you.
Maybe. But I'd like to remain a living noble.
At least no one got hurt. He was just throwing his weight around.
You can't just let
Yeah,
that
the
sort
mental
of
HUD
thing
caps at
on
999.
That could really come back and bite us all in the
There are
eye.
some like 720 hertz monitors. I saw a video about one. It's kind of pointless.
That's all right. I understand how you feel. His tone got on my nerves too. And keep quiet tomorrow in front of Bombergo. We'll deliver if we arrange a truce. Well, how about here in
So this is the 16 gigabyte version. So the app is consuming 17 gigabytes at the moment, and so we're actually using a lot just to play this game. So we're kind of dipping here now. You can kind of see it's going into the 20s. Oh, 20, 30. I think maybe if I try and turn this up to sort of medium at the moment. I mean, you could go lower because we've got scaling here. Put it down to like performance. Even blurrier. I remember when having an old laptop when I first played Oblivion and playing that game with all of the settings turned on. I had to download a mod to get that to work on my like Radeon old laptop from 2004 or something, 2005, one of these Clevo laptops, and playing that game at 15 FPS. This is what reminded me of that. Yeah, it's performance mode. It kind of works. It's I'm quite impressed, to be honest. 540p upscaling, and the fact that it's gone over the memory limit as well. And we're still having a playable game. And that intro was quite intensive as well. Okay, cool. That's my test for Kingdom Come 2. Okay, let's do the next one. Next game. Okay, so peak, Let me see if we've downloaded all these games fully yet. So I want to test out Outer Worlds 2, which I'm still downloading. And let's do Dispatch, because I want to try the Dispatch demo. I heard that's good. Yeah, this is the 16 gigabyte M5. So this one is the 16 gig version. So we're quite limited by that memory issue. We've got Katamari as well. Oblivion was tough on the hardware, but what wonderful game it was for its time, definitely. Let's try the Dispatch demo. My monitor is 180 Hz, but when I use Vulkan mod, I can get up to 1000 FPS. I mean, it's cool and everything, but even 180 is quite... I quite like my 100... The MacBook Pros has that 120 Hz display. It's great. And my main monitor here, it's an ultra-wide, runs at 144 Hz, which is amazing. I mean, I can feel a big difference between 60 and 144. It's huge. And on the phone as well, my iPhone 15 Pro, there's a big difference. But I struggle to see, I've never actually tried like a higher frame rate game than that. Maybe 200 Hz would be good. I'm not sure. We have diminishing returns after you go above 100, I think. So I heard a lot of good stuff about... this game. Apparently it's a very good, like, Telltale style game, which we haven't really had for a while. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's not much graphics settings because I think it's mostly like two-dimensional. Let's give it a go. I heard a lot of good things about this. Mecha Man. Having lost his mech suit in battle, he's recruited to join SDN, the superhero dispatch network, as a dispatcher. In this section of the game, Robert just has arrived for his first day at SDN. So some kind of like emergency services line for superheroes. Hi, could you try War Thunder? So I've tested out War Thunder before multiple times now. On the M1 with low settings, quality upscale is very hot. Yeah, it's gonna get hot with them. You can try something to do with like point a fan at your MacBook Air. There's also like a thermal mod, which works too, or just turn down the settings even more, cap it to 30, and you won't get so hot. Have I tested Oblivion Remastered? I have tested it before. I did it on the live stream maybe like 5 live streams ago.
What kind of heroes end up here?
Oh, all sorts. Some that are tired of doing it themselves.
Is this? Does anyone know how this game is created? Is this a cutscene, or is this 3D rendered?
We're all about diversity. Lana works in the mailroom from a different galaxy.
Let me just put the subtitles on because I like subs.
Altogether. And then there's Galen, way back there, born with super hearing. He's from
Because it looks really like, it looks really drawn, hand drawn, and the depth of field effects looks like it's pre-rendered.
That was one guy. Hey, speaking of bath, where is the,
Oh, need a bio break?
excuse me?
Restroom. I mean, it's right over there. Sorry. At work, I tend to get a little
Corny.
corporate, Dick.
So what are you planning on adding some thermal pads? Yeah.
If you get lost, look for the
Or, you know, just buy a MacBook Pro with some active cooling. That will help a lot. Is this pre-rendered? Let me go dispatch.
Bruh, I almost went in my pants. Hey, you just what people talking about? What's up, brother? My auntie named me Roy, but people call me Roy. Right. Good to meet you, bro.
Likewise.
I think it's, I just looked it up. It's like WebM, the type of compressed video file, right?
Steroid?
Hell no, brother. No. Listen.
The game is all pre-rendered videos.
So I think it's like, we go scrap, we go ground, I boss you up, and then you got Roy. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's what I think.
So it's like a,
That's why they call me
it's a slightly interactive,
But they think I'm some kind of a juicehead. They think
it's a slightly interactive video. So it's a bit like an FMV game.
Man, I have no idea. I just, look, I'm just...
How's game performance on a Mac Studio M4 Mac with 64 gigabytes of RAM? Well, I don't think there's a big difference between 64 and the 48, which is what I tested on last year. So if you look at my video from last year, so like
Nice meeting you, Roy.
November 2024, I did a whole bunch of tests on the M4 Max MacBook Pro, which should in theory have similar performance to the Mac Studio that you're planning to buy. But I would just think about it before you buy it, because the M5 Max is probably coming out in January. So you might want to wait until then, because I reckon there will be up to a double performance difference between 50 to 100% performance boost between the M4 Max and M5 Max. That's my intuition talking.
even for shake, I just do like this.
Can you show me again? I don't think I got it.
What's the best for gaming? Crossover Preview 26 has the latest fixes. So some of the games I'm testing today will not work on vanilla crossover. You need to be an active license holder. And I think, for example, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 won't work on Mac unless you use crossover preview.
It's a hug, not a hand job.
And I think that crossover 26, you'll be able to test it. It'll probably get released in February next year, so that's not what normally happens. That's the normal cycle. And if you buy crossover now, you'll get access to that future version and also the current crossover preview as well.
They call me Chase around here, so
Sure, right. Yeah, Chase.
it's been what, 10, 15 years?
Has it really been that long?
So any chance Arc Raiders will be coming to crossover? Very unlikely due to anti-cheat.
And he got to ducking me like he owed me money.
I was in a weird place.
Counter-Strike 2 probably works the same as it always has, on
So I can't imagine what...
no difference between previous versions of crossover, just a lot of shader compilation stutter.
Einstein?
Sorry.
Okay, no graphical issues. They are just WebM files, so not surprised that this works just fine. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, we've done 3. Did my Europa Universalis download yet? Okay, so I read that this has problems. Okay, maybe I won't do this one. It's not fully downloaded yet. Just check. Let me just quit out of Steam and then come back in. So any other recent Windows games that look interesting? I could test. The dispatch game should also work on Parallels because it's DirectX 11. And it's just video files as well. Let me try Outer Worlds. I played Outer Worlds 1 and I quite liked it, but I didn't finish it. I got kind of bored in the middle. But as an Obsidian RPG, it's similar-ish to Fallout New Vegas. I quite enjoyed that. Hello Echo, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. And thank you everyone for congratulating me on 100k. It's been quite a ride. I did a live stream covering the big milestone now, which was quite a lot of fun. I've just ordered my silver play button, so hopefully I'll get that next week or something, 1 or 2 weeks. I've been coveting that for a really, really long time. Okay, what's my favorite web browser? So basically I use Safari and Chrome, but I do acknowledge that Chrome is really bad for battery life on a Mac. UE Arkansas game has crashed and will close. Let's try that again. Do you have a day job or full-time content creator? I'm a full-time content creator. So my last job that I had was basically repairing Macs for a living. Let's have a look at Outer Worlds 2 Mac. What do I have to do to fix this? Safari is easily the most power efficient compared to something like Chrome, but Chrome is what I use on my Windows PC too. So this guy's not having an issue with the latest crossover preview. We are just running with DLSS, MSync, and D3D Metal. That's the standard Unreal Engine 5 error that you get. So there's an error message here. What does that say? It's giving a file path which doesn't actually exist because I don't have a D on my. I don't have a D drive on my thing because because I've installed this on a NAS. So what's the D drive? I don't have a D drive. Maybe I'll try installing this on my internal drive instead. That might work better. So we'll just take off the storage. So I just take off this and I'll just reinstall this. Ooh, I'm doing something with this. I'll just remove this library and I'll just reinstall that again. So I'll just install this again. This might take a bit of time to download. Not enough space. Ugh. Let me just put it on my solid state drive. Okay, let's put it here. If I install it locally, this might free us of the error message, because when you add it to a NAS, that's always a bit tricky. Just add it to my volumes. Whoops. And then we'll put it in my data drive with my Steam Windows library here. So I'll make a library here. Oh, something's gone wrong here. Steam library folder is not empty. What does that mean? Let's just make a new thing here. Okay, so I've got a new library on my other drive. Doesn't have any data either. Why have I run out of space? 40 gigabytes. Let's just delete some stuff. Oh yeah, I've got a lot of stuff here I don't need. Delete. Okay, I'm just trying to install this game locally. Okay, good. So, does WWE 2K25 work? Maybe. I think I've seen videos online of that working. Yeah, Kingdom Come works on the Mac using crossover preview, so give that a go. Is this good for some work and sporadical gaming? Yes. The Macs are great for, I think they're the top tier like productivity device. And if you are willing to, they're not good gaming machines. Like genuinely not really good at gaming. Not because of the hardware's bad. I mean, the hardware's not mediocre, but it's good, but not really compared to the price that you're paying. If you're willing to jump through a few hoops, like using software like Crossover, Parallels, using source ports and stuff like that, then yeah, you can actually play quite a few games on this device. So if you're buying a device primarily for work, then it's perfect. It has the best screen, the best keyboard, the best backup system with Time Machine. It's lovely. It's thin. It's really easy to use. Right? There's almost no threat of viruses or malware compared to a Windows computer. There's no bloat. When you buy a Mac, there's no Candy Crush not installed. You know, there's not like McAfee or Kaspersky or something antivirus stuff, which the bloatware that you get on a Lenovo laptop or any other HP laptop. It's just bare bones, high quality, really good screen. You know, you can't buy a Mac with a bad screen, and it's great for productivity. What it's not good at is gaming. The hardware is there, but it's not very. The software hasn't caught up properly. So a lot of these like really good new games are just not compatible. And for example, Europa Universalis 5, right? That hasn't. So Paradox normally release Mac ports of their games. They haven't come up with a Mac port, which is really sad. What's the best FPS game for macOS? Well, we don't have many first-person shooter games for macOS, unfortunately. There's a lot of like indie games that work, but all of the big multiplayer ones have anti-cheat applied to it, so they don't work. There's stuff like if you're looking at first-person shooters, then you have to kind of look 10 years in the past for all the games which don't have those anti-cheat softwares. Stuff like really old Battlefields, really old Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3. Sometimes running through virtual machines because they're 32-bit, it works better through that. So yeah, there's not many good first person shooters. I'm afraid it's just kind of sad. There's a few good indie games like Proteus is a good game. You might want to, if you don't mind the boomer shooters, you can download the source ports for things like Quake, Quake 2, Quake 3, VK Quake. There are some interesting first person shooters built within stuff like Roblox, which I think is okay. If any of you can suggest any, there's Combat Master, which I think is okay. It's like a mobile port of a first-person shooter. And then you can play Counter-Strike 2 through crossover, but it's not great. I wouldn't call it a great experience. But do these still work with multiplayer? Because they probably deleted the servers. Yes. Well, if you want pure multiplayer, like some of these old games still have the servers, right? This people still play. People still do play Quake 3 Arena. What's the best FPS game, Mac? I have to figure this out. Oh yeah, single player games like Metro Exodus. That's good. Combat Master Mobile, which I talked about. Isonzo has a small Battlefield-like community. I wonder how many people are playing it, because if there more than 100, yeah, 100 is decent. Arma 3, you can run that online on a Mac, but not using anti-cheat. Yeah, Proteus I talked about. What else have we got? They have the Mac version of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and there's a patch which allows you to play the Zombies mode cross-platform now. There's like a community patch for that. And yeah, the older Metro games work really well on Apple Silicon. You can play some Windows games like Borderlands 4 also works on a Mac. So I've tested this on the M5 before. It works okay. Yeah, Isonzo is good. It seems quite hard. When released Crimson? I don't know when Crimson's getting released. Is it called Crimson Game? Crimson Desert, right? Release date. I think it's like March 26th. Yeah, quite a while. Okay, so we'll let this download. This is 25 gigabytes. Any good racing games? I'm not much of a racing game fan, but Grid Legends is good. I like Grid Legends. And apparently the Assetto Corsa games work well through crossover, but the last time I tested it, I couldn't get it to work. That's like the Windows version of that game running through crossover. There was a post on the Mac Gaming subreddit about simulators. The racing sims. Someone made a post about racing sims. Let me just find it. Yeah, sim racing on Mac is somewhat possible. So I read this earlier. So that you can use the Logitech. So there's native support on macOS for the Logitech steering wheels and the pedals and stuff. And they're saying that they can get Assetto Corsa working on Competizione, Race Room, Dirt Rally 2. That's quite an old one that's got a Mac port. Gran Turismo 7. How do you get over 9,000 FPS? It's maybe there's a fix that you have to apply, and then yeah, Assetto Corsa, you can switch it to DXVK. So yeah, check this one out. This only got posted 8 hours ago. So yeah, they're running this on an M1 Pro, so that's quite an old Mac now. Is it possible that DLSS 4 works on Mac now? I'm not sure what the difference between standard DLSS 3 and DLSS 4 is. Why do people fight for Windows games on a Mac? Why do you buy a Mac in the first place? I don't get the philosophy of the whole process. Well, like I said earlier, a Mac is like the perfect content creation device. Like I would never buy a Windows laptop to take with me to work if I was like working on an important project. Windows laptops are just such a disaster. Viruses, forced updates, all this like legacy stuff messing around with your files, people using different versions of things. I think Windows is kind of a mess when it comes to productivity. So that's why that's why I think like the Mac is the best for portable productivity, like work. You can't really beat it. So when I'm at home though, I have my gaming PC, which is right here. If something goes wrong, I've got time at home to fix it. But if I'm out, if I've got my laptop, I need to present something or do a piece of work and then have it working right there and there, then the Mac is the perfect device. And when I'm out with my Mac, sometimes I want to just continue on the game that I'm playing, which is invariably a Windows game on Steam, and I just want to continue playing it, then I don't want to bring a whole separate Windows laptop or my entire Steam Deck with me when I'm on a trip, when I'm on a plane or something. I just want to continue the game. I will accept much lower graphic settings and I will compromise on many things. I won't compromise on my work, but I will compromise on the game. I just want to continue the progress on the game. So I've got this like really nice, that's this MacBook Pro. I've got an M3 Max, or let's say this M5. And let's say I'm playing an RPG like Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. And I just want to continue my progress. Well, I can just load this up on my Mac using Crossover, continue exactly where I left off using the Steam Cloud Saves, and play like that. So that's my use case. I think that's the use case of a lot of people. So Joseph says, I bought the M4 Pro Mac Mini because I do not require high-end gaming PC anymore. The fact is I can game on the Mac as a plus. Exactly, yeah. So it's a plus to be able to game on the Mac. It's not the whole point. It's just really, I think it's just really nice that you spend a lot of money on a Mac for the productivity. It just happens to have a very decent integrated GPU. The Apple Silicon GPUs are like really good, right? For the fact that they're the base models of things. They're so much better than the Intel integrated graphics chips of the past. They're so much better. And the fact that this M5, the cheapest Mac you can buy of this generation, which is going to be in the $600 M5 Mac Mini when it comes out, it's going to be in the MacBook Air when it comes out, can run the current generation of games through these translation layers is like amazing. I think that's a huge bonus, right? Not the reason you buy a Mac, right? But the bonus thing that you could have in order to continue working on it. Saw your comparison of RAM on MacBooks. Do you want to wait for new release of M5 series to get a better MacBook in 2026? I personally don't think that this M5 MacBook Pro is a good deal, okay? Because this is a $1,600 machine, right? It's good because it has the 120 Hz ProMotion screen, and it has slightly more storage, and it has the active cooling, which is good for general performance. However, I don't think that if you compare it to, let's say the future M5 MacBook Air is going to be $1,000. So that's $600 difference between two devices which are going to be very similar in performance. So I'm assuming that the future MacBook Air M5 chip is going to have the same screen as before. It's going to have 2 fewer GPU cores and obviously no active cooling, and it's going to have the 60 Hz display. Now for me, that's like the perfect price bracket for that. If I was going to be spending more than that, then I would just skip the M5 base chip completely. I'll go straight to the M5 Pro and spend like $300, $400 extra dollars to get to that, because the gaming and the productivity improvement is going to be more than double, probably double of what this is because of the increased GPU core count. So that's my opinion. I would wait not long now, 2 months maybe, 3 months until like an M5 Pro chip gets released. So that's my advice for most people now. I don't like this M5 base chip as an actual model because and there's a reason why Apple have released this one first, right? It's because the value proposition of this only really works if it's isolated, if you look at it on its own. If you're comparing it to the M4 Pro, but if you were put it in a general lineup with the M5 Air, the M5 Pro chip, and the M5 Max chip, right, then the the value proposition of this is not great, I think, because $600 is a lot. Will a $1,600 Windows laptop have comparable or better performance than the M5? Yeah, a $1,600 laptop will have substantially better like gaming graphics performance than an M5 chip, for sure. But you kind of have you kind of have a balance that you have to strike between like lots of factors. Because I personally, I kind of hate Windows laptops. I think they're terrible, right? I just find them very unreliable, bad battery, etc. The comparisons, it's not really a fair comparison to make between a $1,600 Windows laptop with a gaming graphics chip, discrete graphics chip, and then a Mac, because they have different operating systems and they have different levels. For me, it's like different levels of risk. For a Mac, I find it way more reliable to use compared to, say, using a Windows laptop. Even stuff like just very basic things like when you buy a Windows laptop, you don't know how good the screen is going to be, right? Because in the same range, lots of vendors, when they put together their third-party stuff, right, they'll use different screens in different configurations of their laptops. I also find things like the sensors. I've always had very bad experiences with the lid sensors on Windows computers. The number of times that I've had a laptop back in my university days, right? And I thought I put it to sleep, but then I take it out of my bag coming off the bus and it's like hot. It's got like 4% battery left because it didn't shut down properly, right? And then, that never happens to me on a Mac. So that's the kind of thing that I value more. Okay, let me just invert.
Welcome to the Outer Worlds 2. Any similarities to real-world dystopian...
Silent Hill 2 Remake, I've covered it before. I've also covered Silent Hill F as well, so that's all done. So yeah, there was a question about Apple Gaming Wiki is my website. Yes, it is. You can just create an account if you want to contribute and then just add. Sorry, I haven't really been moderating that website very much at the moment, but if anyone wants to help me out with that, then please let me know. Because it needs a bit of love.
Get a hold of yourself. You're an Earth Directorate agent. Affirmative, Commander. What are
Commander, my favorite.
Now, I agree that Mac updates are also bad. Like this Tahoe update was bad, but it's completely optional to upgrade to Tahoe. You don't have to. You don't like leave a Windows computer on for a day and then suddenly it's in like a 3-hour upgrade from like Windows 10 to Windows 11. It just doesn't do that, right? You have to type in your password. You have to like consciously do it. It will maybe nag you as well. But you don't have to do it. It doesn't. There's no control taken away from you on the Mac anyway.
Somehow responsible for the dangerous rift anomalies, the tears in the fabric of space itself.
To be honest, I find the last macOS Tahoe update not great. There's lots of issues with the games anyway. I'm not sure about other stuff, but issues with games like this OpenGL frame rate cap thing, and then I had a lot of issues with games that I had installed on my internal solid-state drive from Sequoia, and then upgrading to Tahoe. They just wouldn't open. I needed to delete them and then update them again. Some kind of permission issue. Okay, so we're in Outer Worlds 2, and let's just see what our graphic settings are. Oh, we've got FSR 4, XCSS, and DLSS. Let's do balanced. Low. Let's see how that goes. Still capture 60 FPS. Let's see. Still capped to 60 for some reason. Vertical sync off, that's it. Okay, here we are. Yeah, apparently there was some substantial memory leak issues on Tahoe with like something to do with like the scroll, the inputs would cause, and also some chromium stuff was bad. I remember reading about it and not upgrading for a while. Let's try and get to like let's try and get to an actual part of the game which we can see the, because the ship would probably be not that intensive.
Commander, your credentials are required to open the channel with Agent Deliverance. Yours are currently located in your helmet.
Don't worry, you're not the only one who needs their gray matter rewired after hibernating our nation's sleep space, Commander.
Did you try, or did you already try Fallout 4? Fallout 4 already works fine. There's an update, I think, which came out recently, which I haven't really looked at. Okay, let's try and get to like the nearest planet. Skip, skip, skip.
I'm an agent.
Navigators warmed up in the cockpit, Commander. Whenever you're ready to.
Let's see what the first planet looks like, because that's where the interior of this ship is probably not very indicative of actual gaming performance, because this tends to be quite restrictive. Infiltrate horizon point. How do we do that? Okay, first station, not planet then. So you've been testing out Wolfenstein New Order and Old Blood. Okay. I haven't tested out Asahi Linux for a while. They haven't updated past the past the M1 and M2 generation. So the only device I can really use is the M1 MacBook Air, or I could use my M1 Max. I got so angry that macOS was using swap memory while only music and Safari were running and Sidecar connected, but after the 26.1 update that got fixed. But the other hand, iPad OS 26 is a total mess. I haven't actually upgraded my phone to 26 yet. This is pretty good. It's like a large area.
Commander, Abara and I will secure the building down here while you're upstairs restoring power to the door.
Did a sprat get flash fried in here?
Agent DeVries freezes, orders still stand. Power must be restored to the door in order to...
How do we open this door?
Don't worry about us, Commander. We got things covered down here.
Need a power fuse. Also, regarding my previous question, do you think that the new architecture will give them more room to pack in more cores? What was your previous question, Eagle? I have no idea. I have no idea about what the future holds for. I'm just going by their previous designs, the way that they package their silicon stuff. And the normal like pricing to performance structure that they put in, normally the Pro has more GPU cores, so it'll just have more graphical heft.
I spied some controls just past the gate. It looks like they operate the mech.
Always a good idea to have a cover story.
That'll work out. Might need...
I don't think we'll have to wait long for the Pro and Max chips to be announced, because it can't be a year. It has to be in the next 6 months for sure. And the rumors all say January. So January 2026, hopefully we'll get the Pro and the Max chips announced, and hopefully refreshes for iMac, Mac Mini, etc.
That's right.
Of the M5 lineup, the product I'm most hyped about is the Mac Mini M5 Pro. That is a good machine. I do like the Mac Mini. It's a very good value proposition.
You know, without bringing all manner of chaos down. You gonna school me on some of that newfangled academy training?
Yeah, it's like a slow motion, the Q button. It's like the old game.
Certainly part of it.
This is an enemy. Let's see here. Well, do you think that Apple Intelligence is worth it or a hoax? I don't actually understand what Apple Intelligence is at the moment. I'm still using ChatGPT for everything right now. As far as I can tell, it just doesn't work as advertised. What I really want is like a more agentic version of AI, which will actually do stuff on the phone that's actually useful, but I'm not sure that's going to happen due to Apple's privacy concerns. Will the future of Mac gaming look bright? Well, it depends what you mean, because at the moment, right, it's interesting that we're able to get current gen games like this working on a Mac. So is that good or bad, right? Like a lot of these games, you know, more often than not, all of these Windows titles work on a Mac. Like right now, using a very, you know, what I would call a cheap piece of software called Crossover, and using D3D Metal, and there's a lot of like work being added to this to make this all work better. I have to disable something here. Okay, cash. My gaming will be close to decent in 4 to 5 years at best. I mean, it's all about the software support. I mean, it's not really happened. How do we get of that? Okay, happy that the Outer Worlds 2 works. Decent 60-ish frame rate on this M5 chip. So I'm happy with this. Okay, let's go. What's next? Okay, the other game I was going to test was... What was I going to test? Oh, Europa. Let's try Europa. Let me download it. Actually, what I'll try and do is get this working on my NAS again. Because we had an issue earlier. The only problem is anti-cheat software for crossover to be a legendary software. I mean, it's not really a crossover problem. It's more like, firstly, there's a lot of games which don't work on one translation layer, so they don't work on Steam Deck. Now, Steam Deck, we have several million people have purchased a Steam Deck, and if Valve can't convince these competitive game companies to allow the anti-cheat exceptions onto their Steam Deck, then there's basically no hope for Mac. So that's one thing. Have I tested out Path of Exile 1? Native support sucks and crossover has issues too. I haven't tried it, but Path of Exile 2 works through crossover. League uses Vanguard 2, so Valorant might be coming out. I very much doubt that Valorant is going to be coming out on Mac ever. If Apex Legends on Fortnite and all these big competitive games aren't out on the Mac, then I just don't see it happening anytime soon. So, Sai Kieran, I'm optimistic that it will be bright because personally I want to see the hardware of Apple be fully usable. I agree too, because the hardware is actually really good. It's just the software support is lacking. And I think that it's not really going to change anytime soon. I've been covering this for I've been gaming on a Mac for probably 10 plus years now, 12 plus years. And, we're just grateful for the Mac ports that come out. And before Apple Silicon, I was grateful that Boot Camp existed. And after Apple Silicon, I'm very grateful that Parallels and Crossover exist so that the Mac gaming library is as expansive as possible. And of course, Apple has released several native Mac games, which I haven't really played that much of, to be honest. But yeah, it's been interesting. The thing is with Mac gaming is that some things get really good and then some things get taken away. So, we have Apple's native ports come out for Apple Silicon and they run great. But then lots of people stop releasing Mac ports, like Europa Universalis 5 doesn't have a Mac port, whereas all previous recent iterations like Crusader Kings 3 and Europa Universalis 4 all had Mac ports, but they're just deciding not to. Despite all of the effort that Apple are putting into this, the companies are still pulling backwards on it. So, probably the only way to get this to run properly is to run it through translation layers, because we can't expect these companies to maintain these Mac ports indefinitely because they just kind of stop updating. They keep the Windows version updated. So it's probably better just to have a really good translation layer like Crossover. Apple can pump money to make a native port, but they are too naive, they will actually do it. They have so much money, but they should just do a little bit more to... Okay, this is not working. Let's just... Main concern is force vsync. I found that most games have an option to remove vsync. I don't really see VSync as that big of a problem. Okay, we're just going to download Europa Universalis 5 to my external solid-state drive. You can have VSync in the game, but this game still has force VSync built in, which can only be disabled via Quartz debug. Okay, I haven't personally come across that issue. If Mac user share gets larger, then only the state or Mac gaming will be comparable to Windows, and Apple has to make cheaper products, but they will not. Well, there's potential rumor of an iPhone chipped MacBook, which will be very interesting. I mean, how open would that MacBook be? Because I think if Apple were inventing the MacBook now, they wouldn't allow it to be so open. They would want it to be more locked down like an iPad is, and not allow you to just install anything from anywhere. Bro, why are you not replying to my query? I asked 3 questions. Which questions did you ask? How can I get GTA 5 on my MacBook for free? I can't answer that question because that's a piracy question. Can I play Cyberpunk 2077 on your Mac for free? No, you have to buy it. It's very easy to find these games very cheaply on Steam. There's key sites, GOG, there's loads of ways to do it. Let's try DX12 with very low preset. Just gonna go drink, I'll be right back. Okay, let's load it up. I thought we'd have more issues getting this to working. Okay, this is on very low presets, so let's just see if we can get VSync turned off. It's saying it's using Vulkan. That doesn't sound right, because it's saying here DirectX 12. Including game resources in progress. I'll just let that complete, I think. Main issue with gaming on Mac is that the target audience for Apple has never been gamers. It's true, but there's a good Venn diagram. There's lots of people who grow up on Macs and then they play games on their phones and iPads. Why not try to court this like AAA market too? They treat it as something you do in your free time. Yeah. I accidentally bought Mac. Now I'm regretting it. I can't do anything. Yeah. How do you accidentally buy a Mac? Okay. Let's be Naples, Napoli. I'm really amused why they even build Game Porting Toolkit in the first place if their product audience is for content creation and other stuff. Well, ostensibly what they built Game Porting Toolkit for is for developers to assess how much work it would take for their game to be ported to the Mac. But really, it's when we're evaluating these games like I'm doing now, nothing to stop you from playing the whole game using a product like Crossover. And if you can, we don't have a Mac port of Europa Universalis 5, but we can play it through this Windows thing and this Windows translation layer. And if we can get acceptable frame rates, then what's the problem? The A18 MacBook is rumored to be about $650, but for $750 or so, MacBook M4 is available on Amazon, so people will choose M4 for better performance to price ratio. It all depends on how locked down that operating system is, because will the A18 chip contain things like Rosetta support? Is that a feature of the chip that is built there? Whoa! Hey, this works even better than the old Europa Universalis 4 running through Crossover. We are dangerously close to that limit, though. We're into swap already. Am I still on the treadmill? I'm not on the treadmill now. I'm standing up though. I've already done my gym exercise for the day, so I don't want to do a treadmill walk. But you know what? I should probably do some for health reasons. I'll whip it out in a minute once I load up the next game. So can we get this to fast forward? So this is speed. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't actually know how to play this game properly. So I've looked at this game a lot of times before. But I have no idea how to actually play properly. It's one of these games that I would love to know how to play, but I don't feel like I want to learn. And also there's not enough, not action orientated enough for me. Wow, what year is this? 1337 and the Golden Horde. So that's like the Mongols have taken over. This is like Ukraine, right? I'm really fascinated by this period of history as well. It's like right before early modern period. Oh, yeah, so they've taken over the Mongols have taken over. That's like Romania, Bulgaria. Bulgaria is a lot bigger than I remember. The Byzantine Empire is still there. And then in Napoli, we have our unit here. Okay, so in the past, what way I've tested this is I've just put this onto maximum speed and see what the frame rate looks like, because that's kind of, you kind of test the frame performance based on this. So a lot of people were quite concerned that that this doesn't work, but it works on the base model of the M5 chip. So as far as I'm concerned, all modern Macs can probably run this just fine. But the problem is we're getting into that swap memory with 16 gigs, which is a problem because most graphics cards on PCs, right? They have separate video texture memory in their graphics chips. This is my army. 2 out of 5 morale. It's infantry and cavalry, so I've only got 250 people in my army. Aquila, Perugia. Okay, so this is we're in the very low setting, aren't we? You probably don't want to push it higher than very low, just because it's going to be quite intensive. Okay, let me just look at the... So shorts for UX, I need help running Colonite, but its resolution is locked. can you run it in full screen mode and also use something like Switch Res X in order to change the desktop desktop resolution, and then you'll probably have better performance from that. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure what the difference between very low and medium is. Is the detail on my army better? It does look better, I guess. Marginally better. Okay. Europa Universalis 5 working as I thought it would. Which is good. Okay, so we're going to blitz through this. Europa Universalis 5. Katamari. The new Katamari game. Let's do it. This is only like 3 gigabytes. So what's the deal with Vulkan? So basically, I kind of understand why Apple doesn't want to implement Vulkan support, because they don't want to be beholden to like an open source group to decide like what their graphics stack looks like. Because the graphics part is, I think, way more important on iPhone and iPad than it is on the Mac. And you know, they just don't want to support the open source thing. But what I've heard from I don't know very much about GPU development, right? Is that GPU drivers and APIs and stuff, is that the Metal 4 is meant to be much more similar to DirectX 12 or DirectX 12 Ultimate, and much more similar to Vulkan than before. So much more like parity with Vulkan API. Just going to turn down the sound set because I'm worried about getting copyright striked on this. Katamari games are wild. There's also like a Mac Katamari game as well, which is the Reroll, which is on the App Store, I think. Let me just check. Play on my iPhone sometimes, it's quite good. Yeah, Reroll Live, part of Apple Arcade. So this is also very good too. So why we don't have a Mac port of this game, it's a bit of a mystery. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it would have been a lot easier just to have better support for Oh, I've got keyboard controls here. Let's try that. It's a bit like the I'll turn on the volume a bit. It's a bit boring without sound. I'll deal with the consequences later. Can't seem to full screen this yet. Is that like an options menu? Or is it one of these really bare bones ports? I'm just using the Magic keyboard with the USB-C. That's what I'm using to play my Mac games. Okay. I need to get. I think I'm gonna have to get through this to like get to a graphics menu so I can full screen this, which is annoying. Because I think I'm at. We're in tutorial area right now. I used to love this game on PlayStation 2. Press U while rolling. Okay. Prince view, yep. Take a look on it. I'm going to full screen this game, come on. I want to get the graphics settings to actually see what I'm doing, because it's only running at 720p. Magnet. There's not much innovation. This game looks exactly the same as the PlayStation 2 one. Okay, let's roll up the magnet thingy. So I'm trying to press Command Return, and it's not giving our normal, or Alt Return, and it's not giving our normal thing. Oh, we're gonna get this magnet. Is that the end of the level? Things that you roll up will stick to your magnet. Okay. Okay. That's nice. Okay, Magnum Power's gone. Yeah, Age of Empires 2, it already works great. You can use parallels or crossover to run it. So just DirectX 11 game. So I've covered it plenty of times before. If you shouldn't be using, if you're playing Hollow Knight and you're running the Windows version, I presume it's because you've pirated it. Just buy the Mac version, it's just easier. Well, it cost me, so I've got to get big enough to roll up. Can I get up this battery? Ooh. Good. Yeah, let's stop here. I've tested out Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta already. I did it like 3 videos ago. So if you check out my first M5 Mac video, then somebody super chatted me to to make me cover that, which I did. So Metal Gear Solid Delta is there.
Cleaning everything, they discover things.
Okay, come on. Settings menu. We want to get. We're PC gamers. We're Mac gamers. We're like settings menus. I can't see anything. I hate Japanese games which make you do too much of an intro or the forced tutorial. It's very infuriating. I love Katamari. It's just so random. This Japanese mind is nuts. Okay, can we get to some graphic settings, please? Nope, apparently not. I might pick up this game for real once it goes on sale. Because I think £35 is too much for a Katamari game. Especially because I haven't even finished the one on Apple Arcade yet. Which doesn't have that magnet feature, but it's basically the same game. So I need to get this guy up to 15 centimeters. The crown. Let's go, let's crown it up. Oh, we've got magnet here as well. Sushi. Is there like a main menu in this game? It's like a traditional sushi restaurant. It's a bit egregious for a Windows PC game to not present you with a menu. It's one of these really old school bugbears, right? Where it doesn't let you change things like the aspect ratio or the controls or anything like that until you've gone through the mandatory tutorial or watched the intro cutscene, which has been rendered the wrong resolution and graphic settings just because you don't have the menu yet. So I'm assuming that there is a menu for this game, and we're going to get there after we've completed these two levels. Then I can full screen this bad boy. Can I full screen it now? No, see that? That's locked. There's no green full screen button, which is annoying. Let's see what happens when I get to 12 centimeters. And if I don't get a main menu, then I'm quitting. So I don't want to play this game that much. Okay, I think we're almost at 15 centimeters. Let's go. Yeah, I did it. Dash. It's kind of annoying this game to get stuck. This thing's so hard to control. Okay. Okay, are we going to get to like a menu selection screen? Then I can actually test this properly. I bet this will work on Parallels too. It's quite a lightweight game. So this is only it's DirectX 11 title, so it should work on Parallels too. Be interesting to test this out if I can get Parallels working. Okay, I'm going to find the key for the menu. Let me just look up the Katamari. Once upon Katamari. Is there a menu? Is there a key shortcut for the menu? How do you, does anyone know how to open the menu? You completed the tutorial, and the menu is after the tutorial. Okay, so I just read. AKCSL, welcome to the stream, thank you. I can save the game here too, okay. Okay, auto save, so menu, here we are. Okay, let's play. Go back. Okay, we're in the SS prints, and then we're going to load up play a bit of a level. Let's do it. And Japanese games are so random. This is like one of the most random games I've ever played. So this is like with the highest graphics settings. Basically, there's two options, depth of field and shadows. Will I be doing Sekiro? Not likely. I'm trying to cover new Windows games, so if I do this one, this is like a relatively new release. So I'm going to try and cover this and some other stuff. That's released in the last 6 months, I think. I might try to run Final Fantasy Tactics on this too. Oh, I've got a stopwatch blocker. This blocks the time. Okay, good. This is Katamari, and it's working. So I'm going to close this now. I'm going to test something else. Okay, so we've done Europa Universalis 5. What's the other one that I tested out? Outer Worlds 2, Kingdom Dispatch. Okay, you know what? Let's buy some. I'm going to download Final Fantasy Tactics. Because I had trouble getting this to work before, but I'm going to try it again now. I've been playing Final Fantasy Tactics on my Switch. It's only 10 gigabytes, so I'll just download it to my solid state drive. It should be quite fast. Silent Hill F would be interesting. I've already covered Silent Hill F already. And can't wait for the new Resident Evil. I hope they are working with Apple to bring it to macOS. I mean, I should be very surprised if they haven't already had that conversation. Considering that all the other games are already out. Okay, let's download this. Are there interesting Windows games that have come out recently? I guess Chronos, but that's getting a Mac port soon. We do have a demo that we could try. There's something called Last Caretaker, and then Reanimal, and maybe Little Nightmares 3. But we'll try these big Windows games first. I mean, I'm a recent convert for Switch, so I've been playing with this Switch Lite a lot. Well, I've got this like cool case for it. And I took it to the gym this morning, and it's lovely. And I've been playing this game, Final Fantasy Tactics, on the Switch while I'm on the elliptical machine. And the Switch is so cheap; it's like £70 for a Switch on eBay, Switch Lite. And I don't coddle it as much as other devices like a Steam Deck. It's not as big. I can actually fit this in my trouser pocket. It's very pocketable, everyday carry. Tarkov getting a Mac port is like extremely unrealistic. It's very unlikely that's happening. Oh, this is working. It wasn't working before. Crossover preview is working. Chronos Mac port should be on Steam if we look at all the other Bloober games. This is working. Oh, that's cool. We got mouse support. I haven't played this on PC, so the mouse support is interesting.
I am Arazlam JD.
Let's skip this. Skip. Let's go to the first battle around that big church thing. So in-game cutscenes are working fine. I'll just show a little bit of this.
Oh, Father.
Kill them all! Leave no man standing!
You would have us slaughter them? Are you mad? Kill them here, and you'll have played into Duke Goltana's hands.
So all the audio seems to be working fine.
I find dead men rout more easily.
What graphic settings we got? It's a 60 FPS game. There's not much to it really. Focal effect on, so that depth of field adds a lot, but it's fine. This is actually a lot easier to control with a mouse rather than a controller. So you can't really run Doom Dark Ages because it's a Vulkan game, which doesn't have... You might be able to run it on Asahi Linux. Arcade is no due to anti-cheat. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero already works. Final Fantasy Tactics is a classic. I'm currently playing it on my Switch, so I'm enjoying it quite a lot.
I am ready.
I will make you pay.
Okay, so Final Fantasy Tactics is working. Okay, so we're going to do a couple more now. I've got like half an hour left to test. Clover Pit. I don't know much about Clover Pit. So let me check Clover Pit. That's a Windows game, right? Yeah, I've never played this. Let's give it a go. Got to see how well Mafia Old Country was running in the test with modest hardware. Yeah. This is some kind of like slot machine roguelite. Okay. I've literally never played this before, so I have no idea what this is about. I think after Battlefield came out, people realized that traditional games could be made into roguelites, and it would be very fun. I may have missed previously. Have you tested out Minecraft with Vulkan mod? Not yet, sorry. I can deposit 2 coins in here. Lucky Charms. Okay. Go gambling. Whoa. 5 cherries. Okay. Why objects are shaking because of game design? I think it mimics the PlayStation 1 geometry thing. Actually, maybe I should check out. Is that accurate? Is that accurate to have? Let me just see Mac Pro tips.
Hey, what's up?
Just check his gameplay. Yeah, it's kind of jittery. It's got that kind of that kind of floaty graphics to it, similar to PlayStation 1 games. This looks addictive. I'm not sure I want to play this too long because I love a good slot machine. To make more money. Why they couldn't have made this a native Mac port of this game was so basic. It's only using 1.7 gigabytes of memory. phone. Okay, good. So Clover Pit works. Let me see what else we got. What else is on my list? Little. And then Reanimal. I'm not sure I can play this game without a co-op partner, so maybe I won't try this yet. What else is on my list of recently released games? Oh yeah, Last Caretaker. What's that about? $11 gig game. I'm most curious what Mojang plans to do with its rendering API, as Apple is slowly deprecating OpenGL support, and I've heard rumors about Mojang planning to move on to Vulkan. That would be interesting, yeah. At some point, I need to do new tutorials for Minecraft and Ryubing, both of which have metal, some interesting metal developments that have been updated since the last time I've actually done these games, so that will be interesting to do. I think I've like gone through everything I wanted to go through really quickly. I think Little Nightmares 3, I can try it. There's like an AI companion, so we can try that. I'll be happy if they move to Vulkan. The performance difference is quite big. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. Well, 5,500 people playing this game right now on Steam, according to Steam TV. Interesting, like Unreal Engine 5 game. Last Caretaker. Yeah, so I think I've already tried Stellar Blade before. I have a tutorial on how to get that running on a Mac. And Ninja Gaiden 4, I haven't tried that, but I think the previous Ninja Gaiden games worked. Wu-Tang Fallen Feathers, I'm not sure that's going to work. Oh, so Ninja Gaiden 4 just came out. Okay, came out in... Mac's doing something. Not quite clear what it is. The RE game on Mac doesn't support... It does support ray tracing, yeah? The Resident Evil games all do, I think. As long as you have an M3 Mac or above that has ray tracing calls. Not sure what's happening here. The fans are definitely ramping up. Let me see if anyone else has actually run this on a Mac yet, because that would be... Most Unreal Engine 5 games do work. Just give it a moment to see, because it's doing something. What I might do is just quit this and then try opening it again. That might help. Why are there two void.exe files? Maybe one of them's interfering with the other. Who knows? I should try this again. I've already installed Visual C++, so it could require. Okay, that's probably yes. Okay, second time you opened it, it works. So I pressed a key and it's kind of frozen, but I can hear the audio. If a miracle happens and competitive games get ported to Mac, which we previously discussed already is unlikely, that will rather a huge step forward, though that's just a fever dream. I mean, I don't really need competitive games, but it's more like live service games, you know, games which are updated frequently. Even non-competitive games like Genshin Impact or Power World or something that's not competitive. It would be interesting to see. It's more progress. I think maybe what we need to do is some VCC redistributable library let me try one more time, and then I'll try the library bypasses. So the bottle overrides, because that's quite common with a lot of these games. When it says it needs a VCC redistributable hack. So the one that I most commonly use is this set here, which is so what you do is you get your wine bottle, and then we go to wine config, and we go to libraries, and then we find the MSVCP 140, then 40 underscore 1 underscore 2, then VC runtime 140, then 140 underscore 1. So that often fixes a lot of issues with games which have buggy asks for VC redistributable stuff. Now, what was that game called again? Last Caretaker, that was it. Not Lost, Last. Okay, let's try this now. Thank you very much, Twitch, Verturkier. So I turned this on now, and it's not asking for those things. I went to Toronto CA's Apple Store over the weekend and didn't have the M5 yet. In London, the M5s are everywhere. They've been here for almost 3 weeks now. Well, 3 weeks exactly, actually. So I didn't ask for that VC redistributable pop-up. So these library overrides, fingers crossed, will work. Yeah, it's different now. I think it still might have crashed. I give that 30 seconds to try and get it. Okay, that's the first game that just straight out doesn't work. Maybe I'll try this. Try something like similar to this later. Okay, I think I've got time for one more game. What should I do? I think my Steam's crashed. No, it hasn't. No, I think that's not actually out yet. Let's try this. Okay, this looks good. I hope they send me an iPhone Pocket. I'm not sure what that is, an iPhone Pocket. You mean an iPhone? What's an iPhone Pocket? Oh, it's that sling thing, right? You know what? In Asia, right, everyone wears their phones around their necks. Like at least half the people have a strap and then they attach it to their phone case. I actually find it really useful in Asia to use something like that. Because I'm much less, I'm a bit paranoid about losing my phone in a foreign country. And so having it around your neck is pretty much guaranteed that you don't lose it. And in London, it's a security measure. So if someone tries to steal your phone, it's attached to you, you know? Do you think Fortnite PC might work on crossover? I mean, it might work on Windows 11 ARM Canary through Parallels, but apparently it doesn't work right now, so I can't do that right now. The fancy sock. I remember when I first had an iPod, I remember buying the sock for the iPad, not iPad, the iPod, the original iPods. Apple used to sell socks for them. It was quite funny. This should work. People have played this. Maybe because I did those overrides, it's not working. Let me just remove those overrides that I did earlier. Reboot the bottle. I wish Apple would send me more stuff so I don't have to do this ridiculous thing of returning Macs every now and then. This should work. MSync, DLSS, crossover preview, D2D metal. I've seen videos of other people getting this to work on their Mac, so. Okay, that's a bit disappointing why I can't get this working right now. Okay. Oh, it's working now. It just took a bit of time to get to this. I was about to give up then. If running OBS Studio and running a game over crossover on the same Mac, what do you think the base config would be? A Pro chip and 32 gigabytes of RAM? Yes, should be enough. Depends what games you're playing, really. Personally, I prefer using a streaming computer, like even like an M1 Mac with a capture card, because I find that a lot works better than trying to run a game and stream from that same PC at the same time. Okay, what's happening here? Let's skip this. Let me just go to settings as well. I can just check the video settings. Okay. Not much graphic settings here. I've not really played Little Nightmares 1 or 2 before, so this is interesting. So it's like this is like a co-op version of that game. Default graphics settings 1080p, 100 frames per second, with the AI companion. There's a few of these types of games which I've played, like local co-op games, which have been pretty good. Like Split Fiction, I played on the Mac. Ouch. It's quite in Split Fiction when you die, it's quite forgiving because it just kind of what are the controls of this for the keyboard? Supposed to grab this? What does this do? Okay, there's a little rat here. So we got la da da, jump, throw, slide, sprint, call, equip. Let's crawl. Oh, I can whack some stuff. And hit this rat corpse. That's not the sound of a wrench hitting a body. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do here. Hold, pick up items and throw. Okay, so I can pick up an item like this and then throw it. Little Nightmares would be a good port for Mac. It seems like the kind of thing, like the first two games anyway, that would be appropriate to play. Like if they're going to port Resident Evil, why not port these kind of games? Because they're not super demanding. Okay, I'm giving up because I can't be bothered to learn this game. I've read bad reviews of it as well. Okay, maybe time for one more. I think I'm going to have to do the next one next time because we've got... I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover, including Dispatch as well. And Europa Universalis 5 actually works already, so I'm quite happy with that. Outer Worlds 2 also works. Animal's not out yet, so I'm not going to cover that. There was like I did read about Plants vs. Zombies Fusion, which is like a fan mod. I wonder if this works. It does work. I wanted to test this out on my Chinese is so bad I can't actually read what that says. What are the options? Language. Where's the language options? Oh, it's a Zen Garden. Where the options menu? Let me just look this up. I think the settings are here, right? Where's the language settings? Because it should have loaded up the... This is the English version. Let me just check. Maybe I have to do it this way. So that is the options menu. No, this is the options menu. No, this is the options menu. But there should be a language selector here, which there isn't. How do I get this to work? Because it's meant to load up this batch file. I think the batch file is not working. Because this is supposed to be... Yeah, it's Melon Loader, CD, game file start, Plants vs Zombies, RH. Yeah, Melon Loader is the thing. Fun fact, if you set FPS in 244 Roblox, disable system VSync with Quartz and have OBS open, the game will actually run in composited mode and actually hit 240 FPS. Unironically had better results in Arsenal, but for better flicks with single shot weapons. Okay, that's cool. Maybe this will work better in Parallels, because I can't seem to get the English translation, because it should load up a batch file with the English translation. So I might have to try this in Parallels. This might work better in Parallels. If it runs in direct mode, the FPS gets limited to 60, which is odd. Try this batch file. Oh yeah, it doesn't like being in the downloads folder. Let's put it on the C drive somewhere. Let's see. Hi Pi Studios, welcome to the stream. I'm just about to finish, so sorry if I'm just try restarting this quickly. I'm just trying out this Plants vs Zombies mod called PvZ Fusion, which is like a fan game. It's like a Chinese fan game. I'm trying to get the translation working. I just tried to do it through crossover, but for some reason it's not working properly. Just gonna try again, and then I'm gonna go pick up my daughter from school. it's a Unity game, so it should work. It should work through Parallels on a Mac. Yeah, things hadn't turned. If Apple didn't move to Apple Silicon, we'd be in a much worse state for gaming because we'd be relying on Intel chips, which were getting worse and worse. Okay, so, oh, it is working. Oh, see, this is loading up properly. Okay, cool. Well, I will test this out a little bit later. But for now, what I'm going to do is I might do a Parallels Windows gaming video, because there's an example of a fan game that works on Parallels, but not on Crossover. Anyway, thank you very much for joining the stream today. I'm going to go now. I've been streaming for 2 hours 40, so it's been a nice day. I probably will do some more tomorrow or Friday. So thank you very much for coming to the stream. I'll see you in the next one, and I'll be compiling this in a future video. So goodbye.